Number 25, the Hot Boys. They are a group. They're from the Cash Money.
They are
obviously.
not
Wasn't that Lil Wayne in them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lil Wayne
they're not
and
better
all
than
those dudes in
EPMD.
there.
Nah, they're not better.
Juvenile.
They're not better than Onyx, and they shouldn't be higher than DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Nah, yeah.
There's a lot of groups.
If they, I don't even know if I'm putting them on my list. I'm sorry.
If it's 50, I'm definitely putting them on the list. If it's 50,
Yeah.
personally for me, I feel like the Hot Boys. What are they? 25 on this one?
25.
That's
yeah.
a little too high. That's a little too high.
That's a little too high for me, but it's not that far off where I'd put them in a list of 50. I mean, they had a really hot run. I think it kind of gets overshadowed because Lil Wayne became such a seismic level star on his own right after, kinda.
Yeah.
But I think they should definitely be on the list. I definitely don't care. I have no problem with them being around the 25. I think on my list I had them at like 27 or something like that. So I really don't mind it. I definitely do think it's more of a young crowd kind of thing, but I think they should be on there. I think they should be on there.
Hot Boys doing their thing. All right, they're number 25. Number 24, the Diplomats, which, once again, they're a crew, in my opinion, Dipset. Reason why I have a problem with crews and collectives, because they have some good songs together. The Diplomats, they do have some good songs together. But
not better than Onyx or not better than
definitely
DJ.
Not better than none of those guys.
Not better than
but all of their
EPMD.
best hits came from solo. Jim's biggest hit, High Hater.
Biggest hit?
His biggest hit. Yeah.
Only hit?
Only hit. No, because he had
Ballin'.
Ballin' is his biggest hit, but he also,
that's the hit.
not
The other
High
one's
Hater.
good songs.
That was
That's the
Ballin'.
hit.
Yeah,
That's the hit.
yeah, Ballin'. What's it called? We Fly High, so that one.
So I guess you're considering.
Ballin'.
I guess they're considering. Oh boy! I guess they consider that being a Diplomat.
That
Or was that Cameron featuring Jules Santana?
Because Jim wasn't.
Well, what about Hey Ma? Hey Ma, is that?
Hey Ma is another one.
Yeah.
And of course, and then the Dipset anthem or whatever.
Yeah.
And that goes. That might be a timeless hit. That goes
crazy.
No matter where they play it. That goes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I don't necessarily think they're a group, but I'm cool with them being on the list by this criteria.
Not this low. Not this high on the list.
I can't get with them being this low.
Yeah.
Especially when you have such big weak points in a group. It's hard for you because we're getting to a point where most of the group are problems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. This is really just Joel's and Cam carry throughout the whole thing. Jim had his little moments.
Yeah. Jim had his moments.
And Freaky
Zeke
Zeke
never done nothing. He's the hype man.
Yeah, he's the hype man.
Go look up his story on getting shot on YouTube. That's probably the funniest thing he's ever done.
Yeah, 24. Okay, 23 is the Sugar Hill Gang. All right, number 23.
I don't have no problem with them being there. I mean, they're the original rap group. Definitely gotta put them on the list.
Yeah.
And who don't know, no matter what age you are, who don't know
Rappers
Rappers Alike.
Yeah.
I have a problem, a real issue. Obviously, at this point, it's pretty known. We all have a problem with people being higher than Onyx at this point, but I have a real problem with a group full of people that don't write their own rhymes being higher than
That's
like this dude, Big Bang Hank. You're gonna laugh because I just had this conversation with you the other day. Big Bang Hank, that man did not just steal Grandmaster Cash's lyrics. He stole the nigga's name during the song. How do you spell another man's name?
He spelled out the Casanova Fly. He spelled that out.
That right there shouldn't be nowhere near a top 20 for that.
Is that F-L-Y?
F-L-Y? Like, nigga, what? Nah, no. They should be on the list.
Didn't even bother to change the name.
That is true. When you think about that that is true. They wasn't right now around during the time. It ain't like it is today where people aren't, people got collaborators. Back then, everybody was writing their own rhymes.
Yeah, and they was not writing their rhymes. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect the old guard because I love it. But they were not writing their rhymes back when you could rhyme about a hat. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I got hat with my cat. Like, so you can't tell me nothing.
Good point. Very good point.
Like lazy.
Like you can rhyme anything. Yeah, you can pretty much rhyme anything back then and get over it. They still didn't write the rhyme, bro. Oh man. But you know, shout out to the
impact wise.
Shout out, impact most definitely.
Impact, of course.
And don't they have the first rap music video, right? Isn't Rapper's Delight the first rap music video too? I mean,
would say so.
It might be, yeah, it might be.
Record, like really, that was pressed and put out as a record, and then they had a music video. Yeah, like a disco in a disco. So number 23 is the Sugar Hill Gang. Number 22, the Locks. Locks.
Too low. These dudes are murderers. Too low.
Listen.
You know, go ahead. Make your point.
All right. The Locks. I would disrespect the Locks because, you know, all three, when it comes to, of course, lyrical prowess, you know, when it comes to lyrical and stuff like, you know, all three of the dudes, right? They were beasts. They're still beasts now.
Yeah.
But they were kind of like in a pile of bunch of groups. They kind of got lost on that bad boy thing. They kind of got lost. When you think about the Locks, what's their classic record? I mean, is it
and not just by we're not talking street stuff, because you know,
right, we're not talking street like We Gonna Make It. It's kind of like they were incredible rappers.
Yeah,
I don't really know how much of an impact the Locks had on the culture, because we had mad groups out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like during the time they were out, there were mad groups out.
We might be blame Puffy for that, but hold on.
I know people gonna get mad at me, but
I would say if the Locks came out in the time period where the only other rap groups like now were like Ray Sherman and Migos, I think they would dominate, and that's not because the Migos or Ray Sherman are not good, because they're both very great. But I just think it's kind of like it was just too much. You know what I mean? Like you were like done with the whole group thing at that point, and David Kiss's solo career, despite not being like what you would expect it to be, is still better than the Locks altogether, kind of thing. So I definitely
like I think like Styles P and Jada separate, like they had more impactful joints than the Locks as a group. But and not to say that no disrespect on the Locks, they're amazing rappers, like all three of them. But I don't even know if I'd have them that low.
Shout out Sheik, man.
I don't have them ahead of Onyx. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Shout out Sheik, most underrated rapper.
Right. I mean, as far as the streets go, these dudes are definitely the streets are probably put them in the top 10. The streets
might be looking for me actually.
Facts. They're like, we're the king of media.
All right, so Locks at 22. I wanted to say before I moved on with the Locks was they definitely I think they got kind of like what you said, Heaven. But I'm gonna add to it. I think that whole deal with Puffy just really took a lot of wind out of them. They were actually kind of strong, pigeonholed, like, because they couldn't, you know, are you gonna really actively make hit records if you know your publishing is in question, you don't own it and stuff like that?
And people hold it, and that's a good point. And people hold that shiny soup stuff against them, even though it wasn't their fault. You know?
When they thought they did it, but they were just like, it's interesting. I was just watching this documentary on Hulu last night. It's called Hip Hop at 50, and they were talking about, you know, a lot of stuff. Locks was actually on there talking with Angie, and they played because that happened on Angie's show, where they played a clip of them arguing with Puffy on the air. Right. When Puffy called, was like, "Yo, why didn't you say this to my face? This, that, and another." And they're like, "Yo, man, we've been told, everybody know, we told you, like, yo, you know, just you know what I'm saying? Just let the publishing go, man."
Jada,
you know, like they were going hard with it.
Legendary.
Legendary argument. So I think that really took a lot out of them. as far as just coming back with those radio hits. Because let's be honest, as messed up as Puffy is, in some cases, he is a hit maker. If they would have been in cohesive with him and they would have been in harmony with him, they probably would have had a major hit. Because he knows how to do hits.
Yeah.
All right, so but don't mean I'm condoning him messing with their publishing though. So number 21, Bone Thugs in Harmony.
That's tough.
That's their big group.
Tough if I'm satisfied with them being
21
as low.
I think they should at least be in the top 20.
They might be a couple of notches better than that.
Yeah.
You know, they should be probably top 15, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they just brought in a totally different
I think
vibe. Like
I agree.
Singing, bringing the singing and the melodies to hip hop.
Yeah.
And so many other people followed after that. I mean, so they probably should be a couple of notches lower than 21.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think it's a combo, guys. They should be higher. I mean, longevity, ridiculous. I don't think they've ever actually broken up ever. They've got 50 million members and they all can spit. You know, that's pretty damn big for me. They got the hits to line up. I mean, you talk about timeless hits. They got a couple, if you really think about it. I mean, just in the black community. That
maybe after Crossroads.
Oh my God. That song makes me cry to this day.
I don't think I've ever been to a repass that doesn't play Crossroads if they're playing any type of like. And then on top of that, this is the only group on this list that has a song with Biggie and Tupac. That's
true.
That's true.
That's hard. That's hard. That's a good point. I'm also gonna say this: whenever you're gonna always get in my favor when you represent a shift in hip hop, and they represent a shift in hip hop. It shifted when they got into it, just like we talk about Rakim represents a shift in hip hop. You know what I mean? When it comes to rhyme schemes and the way people were delivering their rhymes, Rakim represents a shift. That's why he's always going to be high on the MC list, no matter what. And they kind of represented one of those shifts in hip hop, and that's why, just like Onyx, that's why Onyx should be around with them, and in their range, because Onyx represented a little bit of a shift in hip hop and in the culture. So
that's the biggest part of the list that messes me up is not even like I'm not even trying to compare Onyx and Bone, but why are they so far apart from each other?
Yeah,
like I don't think either one is that much better than the other one. That one is 40 something and the other one's 21 kind of thing.
Another thing I like to say, these guys came out of, they was Eazy-E's group. They came out of Cleveland and just put Cleveland on the map. Forget about it.
Cleveland ain't never been so famous till LeBron.
Until LeBron. Yeah.
LeBron.
All right, UGK. See, I want to start this one off. I am one. Let me tell you something about these guys, and I hear a lot of talk about these guys, and I know them. Of course, I listen to them. Yeah. I am not so pumped up on these guys. I think they are overrated. I'm sorry. I've always thought they was overrated. I like Bun B. Pimp C. I mean, I like both of them. They're a good group. Number 20. On the list,
I wouldn't have them down that low. I mean, I don't think they're overrated as rappers. Like separately, like Bun B. Like Bun B is pretty legendary. But and of course Pimp C. But to me, I like them a little better if they were. I just never, even though they are a group, I just never looked at them as a group. I always looked at Bun B as his own rapper and Pimp C his own rapper, but even if we're saying they are a group, they should not be 20. That's just too far now.
20 is blasphemous. That's it.
Right.
I got nothing else to say about it. Blasphemous.
Yeah. Because I got other groups in my head now that I'm saying, I'm like, UKG down this low. Again, back to it again. Ahead of Onyx, ahead of Bone Thugs, ahead of. It's just
I'll allow them to be ahead of the City Girls. I'll definitely like that.
These two, okay, but the other guys, nah, I can't put them ahead of them.
Yeah. All right. So that's UGK. All right, here we go again with the crews made into groups. G Unit is at 19. I got all types of problem with all of this because number one, I don't consider them a group. Number two, if they were a group, they shouldn't be at 19 because based on the criteria that Billboard said, they're what they've done collectively as a group, not including their solo achievements, then they may not even be on this list. And if they are, they're high, they're way up there. You know what I mean? Like what? Not high on the list, but way down there.
If you want to put them on a list,
because how many hits do they have as G Unit?
Right.
I just actually had this conversation.
Out of stunt, maybe. That's about
I was just saying, Stunt 101, My Buddy, Rider are the only three songs that did well that most of G Unit are on. Yeah. If you want to put them on this list with this criteria, cool. They can't be higher than the Diplomats in that. Like,
yeah, they can't be ahead of Diplomats. Can't be ahead of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. They can't.
Oh no.
They can't do that.
Can't do that.
Just off of the other collectives,
right?
I don't think that their songs together match up with like the Diplomat songs together.
Yeah, I don't think they match up to Diplomats.
Yeah,
I mean, so
they shouldn't be there. So a big problem
is
there.
Crazy. I love 50, big 50 fan. Banks is crazy lyricist. Top 20 is ridiculous though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. And we go into number 18, 3-6 Mafia.
This is I really have no
legendary group.
Legendary group.
I have no
only hip hop group on this list that has an Oscar. Maybe the only hip hop group that has an Oscar
ever. Yeah, probably.
Ever.
I think that's right around where they should be. This might be the only thing they got right.
Yeah. Number 18.
This is right around where they should be.
They have an 18. I have 3-6. It's 22 on mine, so I'm cool with 18.
Yeah, it's in the ballpark.
In the ballpark. Okay, Cypress Hills, number 17. Cypress Hill.
I forgot about them.
I have a personal stake in this. I think 17 is probably cool. But when we go through the list, if I see one or two people that I don't want to, then they should be moving up one or two. If we're moving up people not named Onyx, you know what I mean? Then we're moving up Cypress Hill. Because Cypress Hill, what people don't realize is Cypress Hill made marijuana the thing in hip hop. It's always been a part of it.
Them and Redman.
Yeah, but you know, Redman said it himself on his Drink Champs interview. I didn't really. He said I was smoking nothing compared to what the dudes in Cypress Hill was smoking. Like, they put me on. He was like, back then New York had the chocolate. It was all the brown weed. That was it. He was like, they came through with this green. He's like, they was on the cover of the Source with green weed in their hands. And he was like, they what they did for weed culture in hip hop. I feel like, not even speaking about just Insane in the Membrane, a freaking classic song, a great album, you know what I mean, and respect from everybody in hip hop. Just what they did for weed in hip hop. There are certain people that literally would not have rap like careers, make records without weed, kind of thing. And these dudes put that like in the forefront. Maybe they can stay at 17, but I just want to say I think that they are untouchable as a top 20 group, maybe top 10. I love them. I love them personally.
Right. I think that's a good point about that with them. They also are very respected in the industry by a lot of people in a lot of groups. They're very respected. So I'm okay with them in the top 20.
And Be Real's no slouch on the mic.
Yeah, Be Real's pretty nice too. All right, number 16, the Beastie Boys.
Underrated.
They got their top 5. Easy. Gotta be top 5, man. Like if they're not top 5, they're definitely top 10.
Top 10.
Like, you cannot have the Beastie Boys. You can't have the Beastie Boys. It's 16.
Bro.
Oh man.
They made Fight for Your Right as a joke to make fun of frat boys around America. That song, I don't think I've ever went through a month of my life without hearing that song somewhere. Like walking into a store, hearing it. Going to a sporting event, hearing it. Like going to a show, hearing it. That song is like,
Yeah.
New York almost
And I'm
shut
sorry,
down.
classic. That album, License
License
to
to
Ill.
Ill.
That
It's one of the 10 greatest rap albums ever. Oh, you got Paul Revere. It's a classic song.
Yeah. Like
Freaking
right, it was on there.
Rhyming and Stealing. Beats
Stealing.
around. Come on, man.
Bro, they had some joints, man. The what was the one that we had y'all redo when y'all was kids? What was that? Man, I can't think of the name of it right now.
It was called man, how can I forget that?
That one. But anyway, we'll get back to that. But anyway, yeah, that right there, man. They had License to Ill was a crazy, crazy album. One of the best hip hop albums. I don't think they should be at 16.
What they did for hip hop in the mainstream shouldn't be ignored. They shouldn't be 16.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Number 15, Naughty by Nature.
They're where they should be.
Right.
Yeah.
They're where they should be. Of course, they definitely should be in the top 20. They have a couple of timeless hits. Hip Hop Array's timeless for hip hop.
Played in every single sporting arena everywhere, and to this day. Yeah. They started that way. They started that.
Yeah. And then OPP is
OPP.
Yeah. They got timeless hits. So they got 2 of them under their belts. They definitely are pretty much where they should be.
My only gripe with them is their run was very short.
Yeah.
Very short peak.
They did their thing the little bit of time they was there, but their run was short.
Shout out
Rain
Tretch,
on
though.
top was short like leprechauns. Yeah.
Shout out Tretch, though. Tretch is
another one. When we do the underrated rappers list, he might be number 1.
Yeah, he might be number 1. Fact.
Yeah. Anybody who Eminem puts on his top list.
Yeah, come on.
That Eminem said almost made him stop rapping.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Said, the dude almost made him stop rapping because I didn't think I'd ever be that good. That's what he said.
And that's Eminem saying that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the highest selling hip hop artist of all time, boys and girls.
Yeah. So
what?
The Tretch is so damn good. We almost didn't have Eminem. But anyway, number 14, the Fugees.
Underrated. They should be higher.
Classic.
They should be a little higher.
Might be in there for the greatest rap album ever.
Arguably.
Only issue is only 2 albums.
Their run.
And the score, even though it was one of the greatest albums ever, it was a little top heavy.
Right.
The second side was nowhere near as memorable as the first side. Yeah. And then after that, they pretty much wasn't around anymore. So me personally, I'd probably say they're right around where they would be. If I was making this list with that criteria they have, I'd probably have them around there too.
At first I said underrated, and I thought about it, and personally, I guess 14 is cool. I'd probably drop them down a little bit, higher towards the 20s. Because I'm sorry, that picture to me, I see Lauryn Hill and 2 Louis Vuitton bags because she carried. Bro. Like I don't even understand why this is a combo. She carried, bro. If this ranking said Lauryn Hill instead of the Fugees, I'd be like, yeah, pop her up, bro. Because Lauryn Hill, Fugees level Lauryn Hill was ridiculous. Like untouchable. You know what I mean?
You see Lauryn Hill and blow the whistle. See Lauryn Hill blow the whistle. But what? That's the carry. That's a carry.
Yep, carry on. Carry. There's a travel, bro. I'm telling you right now. The craziest carry job of all time. She got 2 Louis Vuitton bags next to her. She ain't care. She said, fuck a carry on. I'm not checking no bags. Put them on my back. I'm just gonna take it to the top. So respect to Lauryn Hill, because that's why the Fugees is on this list.
Okay.
Right. I agree.
I can't argue with you. Number 13, Mobb Deep.
I think that's a good number.
That's not a bad number.
I have them. Me personally, I have them a little lower. Yeah. But again, they have extra people added on this list because they added extra criteria. So for their criteria, that's probably a good number. Right. Me, I have them
our criteria.
Lower.
Yeah, they might be a little lower on our criteria because we're taking some people out, right?
Yeah, I got them at 10. My personal list, but
10. Yeah, I think in my
13 ain't
personal
like
list, I got
8,
him there
13.
too.
As long as they're in the top 15, I'm willing to hear that. You know what I mean? They
Okay.
gotta be top
R.I.P. to the man Pete.
Prod.
To the great, to the GOAT.
Prodigy.
One of the
Yeah.
GOATs, Prodigy.
Yeah, he killed it.
Best ballet
Okay,
dancer.
number 12 is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
Definitely agree with that.
Okay.
I never. The time is hit.
The
Course.
time was it.
Time is the greatest times of all time. Arguably the greatest verse in hip hop history.
Arguably the greatest song
third
in
verse
hip
of the
hop
message.
history.
Arguably the greatest song in hip hop history.
Yep.
Right. So, arguably the greatest DJ in hip hop history.
And
yeah.
Everybody. Flash, his name started a technique.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
made
Like
it
they took his name, the Flash. His name was Flash. That he started flashing. Like that was a technique taken after his name. So,
yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem anywhere from 11 to 1. If you wanted to call him 1, I'm not even really arguing. But I don't have him at 1. But anything from 11 on down, I have no issue with them. I think that's.
Well, they're 12 here, but
The impact-
anything 11 on down, I have an issue. Anything up above where they are, I'd have a problem.
The impact, the impact plus the most famous rap song ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
that is. All right. Okay, and we're going into cracking number 11, Migos.
That's a good number.
Listen, they gotta be there.
I think I got them at 10 actually, but and that's only because on my list. We'll go over my list after, but you need somebody from new generation like to represent, and they've really only been the only successful rap group in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think like we're in 2023. You're talking about what?
Maybe longer than that.
2000, yeah, when they come out, 2007, 2008. Have they been out that long?
No. Well, yeah, technically, probably. They probably did drop music then. I think the real first time we really started to hear.
Well, it says here their breakout hit was in 2013. Versace.
Okay, 2013. All right, so you're talking 10 years. You're talking 10 years, and they've probably been the best group in the last 10 years. That's a decade.
And I would say there's something to say about. I know projection's not really the best thing to do, but I mean, if Takeoff doesn't die, they probably reunite and drop another 2 great albums, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
R.I.P. Takeoff.
and shout out to them. They're a rare group to use their album drops to highlight different members. If you listen to all 3 of the cultures, different Migos members are highlighted on each one. That's pretty cool.
And Culture 2. Well, that was the classic one. That was the big.
That was
one,
the really that's one that went crazy.
Yeah.
Culture 2. Yep.
Yeah. That's a good number for them.